Greetings and welcome to my channel, Take Control of Your Health. I'm Dr. Corey Stern. And if this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you. And please make sure to check out all of the videos that we have uploaded on this channel, as all of them are there to help you to optimize your health and not be a victim of the bad guys who want you sick, weak, and stupid. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you again so much for your support, for your feedback, for your questions. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet had a chance to subscribe, please do so now. And also hit the like button. It does help other people to find the video. And lastly, and most importantly, if you know somebody that you think would benefit from the information we're talking about, please make sure to share this with them. So today I want to discuss artificial sweeteners. And I'm sure some of you watching already know quite a bit about this and know to avoid them. And if you already know that, you probably might be interested in hearing a little more about the history behind them. But a lot of people I'm finding don't realize that a lot of the products that they're eating that they think are good for them are loaded with these very toxic substances. So the two artificial sweeteners I want to focus on today are aspartame, brand name is Equal, and sucralose, brand name is Splenda. So we'll start with aspartame because that's been in our food supply a little bit longer. And aspartame was originally created by a company called Monsanto. And if you know anything about Monsanto, you will know that they have pretty much created every single toxic carcinogenic substance that's on our planet at this time. They are the makers of Roundup, which is glyphosate, which is a known carcinogen. They actually created RGBH, which is the bovine hormone that's shot into cows that is known to cause thyroid, prostate, and breast cancer. They are the creators of Agent Orange and of saccharin and PCBs, and just there's a long list of really scary toxic chemicals that are in our soil, in our air, in our food, that were all created by Monsanto, now taken over by Bayer. Bayer Monsanto is the name of the company. So anything that's created by Monsanto is already suspect. So the story behind aspartame is that it was created by accident. Okay. In 1974, and it was discovered that, it was very, very sweet, and oh my goodness, we could use this as a sugar substitute because sugar is bad for you. So they got it approved and started putting it into everything labeled diet or sugar-free. And the thing about aspartame is it actually ends up metabolizing in your body into formaldehyde. And formaldehyde, you might know, is a very toxic chemical. It's what's used to preserve, it preserves dead bodies, but it's also used as a preservative for many things. It's used in clothing, in shoes. If you ever open a box of new shoes and that smell that comes out is formaldehyde, it's used to preserve furniture, things like leather couches and, anything. There's a very distinct smell that it has, and that smell actually makes me really sick every time I smell it. I spent 4 years in chiropractic school dissecting cadavers and inhaling formaldehyde, and I just can't tolerate it anymore. I immediately feel like sick when I am exposed to it. Oh, it's in things like pillows, new pillows, and carpets. It's when we talk about off-gassing, it's one of those chemicals that off-gasses. So anytime I get a new pillow, if it's not organic, I have to leave it outside. I have to leave it outside for like weeks before I can use it. So aspartame is found in diet soft drinks and other sugar-free drinks like, let's say, sugar-free hot chocolate and, sugar-free iced tea, all those kind of drinks. It's in gum. Almost all gum has it. And then products like sugar-free Jello, sugar-free puddings, sugar-free ice cream, and all those other diet desserts. Companies like Weight Watchers, they make those diet products. Their desserts contain aspartame. It's in some breakfast cereals. And most weirdly, it's in many, many over-the-counter drugs. So it also has other names. It's also called acesulfame, potassium, ACK or ACE K, Aspartame 1-methyl ester. So it can be very tricky. The point is that you actually have to read labels and know what's in your food and look for all those names. I'll put those words in the description of this video. So if you look at conventional research on aspartame, you'll see that it's perfectly safe. And even though there's been many reports of symptoms connected with ingesting aspartame, it's all been debunked by conventional research. But yet it remains true, and I see it in my own practice, that many people eating aspartame have symptoms. One of the things it can actually cause is diabetes and heart disease. It's known as a neurotoxin. It can cause brain and mood disorders. So, and a whole long list of other physical conditions. So what we recommend that you do is not eat it, all right? If you have to have something sweet, wait till the end of the video and I'll give you some other suggestions. The other artificial sweetener I want to talk about is called Sucralose, brand name Splenda, and that also was oddly discovered by accident. And they were trying to make an insecticide and turned a potential insecticide into an artificial sweetener. The company that created it is Tate & Lyle. It's a British sugar company. And I don't want to, dig into the background of Tate & Lyle. I did a little bit. And of course, sugar plantations are associated with slavery. The original two guys, Tate and Lyle, that owned the company were born after slavery was abolished. But, the connection is out there on the internet. I don't think it's important to discuss that right now. What I want to discuss is how bad sucralose or Splenda is for you. It was approved in the US in 1998, in Canada in 1991, the US in 1998. And it is also widely found in the food supply in sugar-free products. So what sucralose actually is sucrose, which is a form of highly processed sugar with chlorine pumped into it. So you're eating chlorine, made in a lab. So this is widely found in baked goods. So it's apparently works better in baked goods than aspartame does. Frozen dairy desserts, diet desserts and diet beverages and gum also. And a lot of protein bars and shakes that are sweet. Protein bars and protein shakes have sucralose in them. It's also found in candy, in toothpaste, and cough drops. Now, the other problem with it is that it has a lot of dextrose in it. And dextrose is a corn-derived type of sugar. And corn, at least in the US, is primarily GMO. So we can assume that sucralose is made from genetically modified organisms. Now, it is also associated with quite a few physical symptoms or diseases. Number one, again, just like aspartame, it may actually contribute to diabetes. Both of them may also contribute to weight gain. Apparently, your brain responds to sweet things, setting off a whole cascade of responses. And even though it's not sugar, it still causes the cascade of responses can lead to actual weight gain and promote sugar addiction, the want or need for something sweet. Sucralose is really associated with gut inflammation, inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, leaky gut. So apparently it interferes with your gut's good bacteria and creates an imbalance. And when it's heated, it can create a compound called chloropropanols, which are highly carcinogenic. So when you're using it to cook or bake, or eating it in baked goods, it's likely that these carcinogens are present. So the good news is that there are sugar substitutes that you can use that are not dangerous to your health. The first one is called Stevia. Stevia is a plant that's been used as a sweetener for over 1,500 years. It's an edible plant, and it's widely available. You can just put in your browser organic stevia and pick a brand that you like. You can even buy a stevia plant yourself and just blend it into something to sweeten it. It does have a bit of an aftertaste. It's something that you have to get used to. And the other good quality sweetener that I recommend for patients and use myself sometimes is called monk fruit. Monk fruit is an actual fruit. It's from the gourd family, and it can be made into a sweetener. It's very, very sweet, so you don't need a lot of it. But it's not a sugar. There's no grams of sugar in it. It's not a carbohydrate, so it doesn't have any effect on your blood sugar. It also has a little bit of an aftertaste. It's something, again, that you have to get used to. And actually, the best thing to do is to wean yourself off of needing sweet tasting foods. So if you want to maybe substitute stevia or monk fruit for what you're now using, whether that's sugar or aspartame or Splenda, and you can go like 50-50. So, half of what you were using before plus half of the new thing, and then slowly start reducing it. Let's just say you're using sugar in your coffee, and you're putting in 2 teaspoons. Just very gradually reduce it. Go to 1.5 or even 1 3/4 of a teaspoon, and then to 1.5, and then to 1 1/4, and then to 1, and just keep cutting down on it. Also, I do want to say, and I've talked about this in other videos, especially the one on sugar, that when you have nutritional deficiencies, you crave sweet things, and that's your body actually looking for nutrients, and you're misinterpreting the signal and giving it sugar. So the best thing to do is to feed your body with nutrient-dense foods, and that's what this whole channel is about, and good quality nutritional supplements that correct nutritional deficiencies. Wean yourself off of sweet things, and your cravings will go away. And what you could do in the meantime is try eating some good quality fat. Okay, so sometimes if you eat some good fat, like avocado or coconut oil or nut butter, good quality nut butter, things like that, your sugar craving actually will go away. Now I'm going to put my website, a link to my website in the description of this video. So if you do need some help with sugar or weaning off, or learning how to read labels on your products to make sure that you're not accidentally eating aspartame or sucralose, I can do a virtual consult with you, and we can help you with that. So I'm looking forward to perhaps meeting you virtually. And if not, I will be seeing you again soon on our next video. And in the meantime, stay healthy and eat cleanly. Thank you.